Hello. I have something for you. um, I don't know if I really have. I'm gonna speak off the dome today because I don't really have anything specific. But I just felt like I should record. This video might not even get uploaded. Fuck. But it's so important for us to find time to regulate our nervous system. Our nervous system is key to maintaining a good life, maintaining equilibrium, and finding peace even amongst all of the chaos. This human experience can be extremely chaotic. A lot of things can be going on at once, and if we don't find the time to regulate ourselves, then our outer world will also be a manifestation of that. It will manifest that chaos that we feel within. For me, a key tool that I have used to regulate my nervous system is meditation, is being outside. Being outside is a really great grounding tool. Like whenever I was first like getting into different spiritual practices, different ideologies. I was like a teenager. I would be like looking up how to get enlightened on fucking YouTube, and I remember this one video. It was like a 10-step video, and one of the number one thing that they said to do was like put your feet in grass, like walk around barefoot in grass. And I fear I have become one of those people to just say like, bro, you just need to fucking ground, bro. You need to ground. But I love grounding. I love putting my feet in the ground. I love having my feet out low-key. Like, I don't give a fuck. My feet are out right now. Y'all don't get to see though. But yeah, being outside is a really very key. It's just very key in keeping ourselves in a balanced state of mind. And I am living in the Pacific Northwest, so in the winter that can be kind of hard, but I am very happy. I'm very grateful that I have really been able to maintain that practice even whenever it's ugly outside, or just like being able to go out whenever it does feel good, whenever the sun is out, and just thriving in the times when I know that I can. And being able to do that alone as well has been something that has been very healing for me. Yeah, I love being outside, because even in the times where I have felt the loneliest, when I have felt the saddest, I never feel like I'm alone whenever I am out here surrounded by nature. Another tool that has been very pivotal for me is meditation. Meditation has changed my life in so many different ways. I started consistently meditating whenever I was going through a particularly emotional time. There was a lot of things ending in my life, a lot of things were changing, and I made it a challenge to myself to start being consistent, to make myself do at least 5 minutes a day every morning when I woke up. And bro, it was so hard. It was so hard in the beginning. Even 5 minutes felt like a fucking, like a goddamn, it felt like, those 5 minutes felt like an eternity sometimes. But it was so it was so vital to my process and to where I'm at now, because without me dedicating my mornings to myself through giving myself those moments of silence, those moments to just come back to what I needed to come back to, like those times where I did just like force myself to be in devotion to my practice, to my well-being, to my emotional body, has changed my life in so many ways. Meditation has helped me with so much in my life. Like, on some practical shit, meditation has helped me increase my attention span. My attention span was so bad, as so many of our attention spans are in this generation, where we are being programmed to constantly just have our focus on everything that is going on outside of us, have our energy harvested for social media, for advertising, and for all of those things. My attention span was incredibly short, and I was a very mediocre student in high school, and part of it was my inability to focus and my inability to pour into my studies, and also the fact that I wasn't passionate about that shit. Like, I really didn't give a fuck in high school, I'm not even gonna lie. But practically, meditation has really helped me with focus. I have become a much better student because of it. I am able to sit down and do my assignments without really getting very distracted easily. I'm able to sit down and focus in classes, and I'm also become very patient as a result. I used to be a very fiery person, a very angry person, a very impatient person, I would say. And that isn't to say that sometimes those characteristics don't come out of me at times, because I'm a fucking human being, bro. But I have become so much more patient, so much more understanding, and so much less quick to react in situations that may be of high intensity. I think it has helped me really with my relationships with my family, my relationships with friends, and yeah, that's the practical shit. And then to get on like onto the more personally, meditation has really helped me become more in tune with my emotions, be more aware of what is going on inside of me, and not clinging onto a story that my mind may be fabricating to make me more mad, that will fuel my ego, that will fuel my anger, that will fuel sadness, depression, any of those kinds of narratives. It has really helped me become very objective with what is going on inside of my head, and not really attaching to the story that it is telling me. I used to be a very anxious person, very socially anxious, not very much like health or like danger kind of anxiety, very much social anxiety. I was very scared of interacting with people. I would get very embarrassed doing presentations, be very embarrassed showing up as I was, and constantly wanted to hide myself away from the world, and just really didn't want to be seen in so many ways. And meditation has really helped me become more loving, become more caring, and become more compassionate towards myself. And in that, I have been able to communicate more easily with people that I don't really know, maintain small talk, and like just do normal human shit that in the past that was very debilitating to me, that was very, very hard for me to partake in, and made me feel weird for not being able to partake in such activities. And now it's second nature. It doesn't feel like something that meditation doesn't feel like something that I have to do, that's something that I have to check off of the list to do. It's something that I know that I'm never going to stop doing, because it's become so vital to my process, so vital to my well-being, that it isn't even a question of whether or not I'm going to do it. It's something that I love to do. I love coming back to myself. I love feeling my emotions. I love letting myself cry whenever I need to cry. It has Emotionally, I used to be very closed off to my emotions, very scared to cry, very scared to express. And I think the sentiment where people are very disconnected with their emotions is something that's very common. Even things like, especially with things like crying and expressing yourself, expressing sadness in that way, or any frustration in that kind of way. I think we have been it's very much been a disservice to us how that kind of stuff is looked down upon, and how a lot of the times we feel the need to hold it in, when, bitch, just let yourself cry. The fuck? Even like well-intentioned things that we would be told as children, like, oh, don't cry, it's okay. I've become, in my relationships that I do have with like younger kids, or just like people that I care about in general, I started saying, like, bitch, it's okay to cry. Let yourself cry. Like, you can't hold that in. That will be Holding that in will be the death of you. And holding in whatever feelings that you have will only creates anger, resistance, and dis-ease in your heart. And sometimes, like, even on the extreme, like, it will manifest in physical illness. But I'm not here to talk about that shit. That's a conversation for another time. But yeah, being very in touch with my emotions, letting myself cry whenever I feel like crying. And many times whenever I'm meditating, like, I won't even be sad about anything particular. I'll just feel the tears start flowing, and I'll just let it happen. And it feels so good to let it out, because it was there. It was clearly like some kind of pent up emotion that was stuck in my body, and I physically let it out. And I've just become so in touch with my emotions through this practice, and it feels so good to just allow your experience to be exactly what it is. In every single, y'all getting a sneak peek of my big forehead, boy. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. It feels so good to just not have that baggage on you anymore. To just allow yourself feel what it is that's arising. And this isn't me saying like that I feel 100%, that I feel good, that I feel great all the time, because I feel like I may be putting out that projection on the internet through these videos where I'm just like, bro, like, go outside, bro. No, like, that's not true. Like, yesterday I was in such a bad mood, like, all day. I was just so agitated, so irritated with the world. And today, and I let myself feel that way. I let myself let it out. I stopped trying to micromanage and stopped trying to control where my emotions were at, because there really was nothing for me to do. I literally just had to surrender to the fact that I was irritated and that I was upset. And then it passed through me. It literally, like, and now I am in a different experience because I let myself feel those emotions instead of pushing them down and thinking that they were wrong and avoiding them and doing everything not to feel them. I just let myself feel them. And that is incredibly vital for you to hold space for those kinds of emotions. Because without that shit will stay stuck with you. It will really stick around. Um, Fuck it, bro. And then I guess spiritually, it has really helped me detach from my identification with this experience. That isn't to say that I don't experience attachment anymore, because like, bro, I'm just a girl, low key. Like I still experience these things, but it has really helped me become. It's helped me not take this experience as seriously as I may have in the past. With things like social media constantly pushing all of the negative things that are going on in the world, it's very easy for us to get caught up in things like climate anxiety, things like the ongoing wars that are happening in this world, things like injustice and all of that, to a very extreme, it like pushes it to an extreme. We were never meant to consume this much media, to consume this much information with our little tiny human primal brains. Our brains are still incredibly primal, and having that overload of information constantly being pushed towards you is something that can tear you apart. It can literally, it will destroy you. It will destroy you. And that's why stepping away from social media is so incredibly important, because you will constantly be fed all of the terrible things that are going on in the world, alongside how good your your ex-friend from high school's life is now, or the fact that what's their face is pregnant, like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, they have such a good life, how are they doing this, like. And then it's just this constant cycle of comparison, doom, and then dopamine rushes as well from the way the algorithms work. And it'll keep us stuck in that cycle, and we won't know how to break it, because it's intended for you to stay addicted to it. And stepping back from that is incredibly important. It's an incredibly important part of regulating your nervous system and of staying in balance. And then with meditation, I think and on the piece of detachment, it's really helped me detach from how serious how serious I used to take life, because there is a need for compassion, there is a need for understanding, there is a need for education. Like, that's literally what I'm doing right now in school. And your service to humanity may look very different than mine, but we all are here to be of service to humanity, and we all are doing that in incredibly different and unique ways. And staying informed is a part of that. Being aware of what is going on is a part of that. But it gets to a point where you really need to step back and realize this is too much. I can't hold all of this on my own. I can't hold all of the heartbreak, all of the terror, all of the sadness on my own. I have to make room for the love, for the gratitude, for the beauty of this experience, because that is also part of this experience. We're here to experience both of them, because without the dark, we wouldn't be able to experience the light. And I think where a lot of people are really suffering in this experience is being very caught up in only the dark. You have to explore both of them, and there has to be a balance. And if there is no balance, you will live a very dysregulated life. And I used to feel very a lot of climate anxiety specifically, because obviously I love being outside, I love being in nature, I love just sharing space with her. But I've gotten to the point where I realize I know my life is extremely temporary. I know my life is extremely temporary. And but I know that the earth can live without us, the earth can go on without us, but we cannot go on without the earth. And it's really not my responsibility to constantly be fighting, constantly be battling in my mind or literally physically through battling battles that are never going to be won. There has always been really terrible things that are going on in this reality. There has always been exploitation and terror, no matter what era of history you look at. And sometimes there isn't anything that we can do. And to some that may feel hopeless, but then to others that might feel liberating, because it wasn't my responsibility it wasn't my choice to come down here, and it wasn't my responsibility to fix a broken world. So for now, I'm going to enjoy what I do have in this experience. I'm going to enjoy what I can celebrate, because reflecting on my life, I've had such a good life. I've had such a beautiful life despite the trauma, despite all of the bad things that every single one of us has to endure. I've had such a beautiful life, and I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful to be right here, right now, in this moment. And I'm so grateful for what life has to offer to me in the future. And what is exhibited in the outer world, like I said before, what is exhibited on the outer world is a reflection of our internal state. We have to be very attentive to our mind. We have to be very attentive to where our attention is going, to where our thoughts are going, and what thoughts we are subscribing to. Because sometimes some bullshit is gonna pop up here, but it is your responsibility whether or not you subscribe to that narrative, subscribe to that story, or whether or not you just notice it and let it pass. But it takes practice, it takes discipline, and it takes awareness. And that's not something that I don't think I will ever be willing to give up. My awareness is my most valuable my awareness is my most valuable resource, and it is all of our most valuable resource. So where are you placing your awareness? Where are you placing your attention? And if it's not inward, bring it back to yourself. Bring it back to yourself, because so many of us are always putting it on the outside world. It's time to go within. It's time to come back to yourself. And through that, through pouring back into yourself, through being there for yourself, you give back to the world. That is your service to humanity. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if this video is gonna get uploaded, shit, but if it is, I love you. And have a beautiful day. She's eating.